everyone, this is Heather at JD Advising. At JD Advising, we offer a number of courses to help you prepare for the bar exam. In this video, we're going to give you a sample of what one of our courses might look like. Today we're going to talk about contracts. If you remember from law school, a contract requires offer, acceptance, and consideration. We're going to focus specifically on that offer. The general rule regarding offers is that offers can be revoked at any time prior to them being accepted. So if someone makes an offer to another person, before that other person accepts, the offeror can change his mind and take the offer off the table. There are 4 exceptions though. If you like mnemonics, we have one for you to help you remember these 4 exceptions, and conveniently, the mnemonic is FOUR, F-O-U-R. We're going to look at what each one of those letters stands for, starting with the F. The F stands for firm offer. So under the rule for firm offers, an offer may not be revoked if the offer is made by a merchant, the merchant gives assurance that the offer will be held open, it's a contract for the sale of goods, it is in a signed writing, and the offer is held open either for a stated period of time or for a reasonable time if no time period has been stated. However, either way, it can never be for more than 3 months. So if, for instance, the stated period of time is 5 months, that offer only has to be held open for 3 months. If, on the other hand, no time period is stated, I just want to make sure to point out to you that the default is not 3 months. The default is a reasonable period of time. So if no amount of time is stated, it's going to be defaulted to a reasonable period of time. And the facts and circumstances of each scenario are going to dictate what is reasonable in those circumstances. The second exception, the O of 4, stands for option contract. An option contract is a promise to keep an offer open, supported by consideration. So let's say, for instance, I offer to sell my friend my car for $5,000, and my friend says, I need to think about it. If I give you $10, will you keep the offer open for a week? And I say, sure. My friend and I now have an option contract. I promised to keep the offer open for 1 week, and she supported that promise with consideration, the $10. So once we have an option contract, remember this is an exception to the general rule that an offer can be revoked anytime prior to acceptance. If we have an option contract, I cannot revoke that offer before the week is up. That's the O of 4. The U of 4 stands for unilateral contract. And specifically, this exception applies when the other party has begun performance on a unilateral contract. Now, a unilateral contract has one method of acceptance, and that's full performance. So I'm going to illustrate this exception with an example. Let's say I offered to pay my friend $10 to wash my car. And I say the only way you can accept this offer is by full performance. That's an offer to enter into a unilateral contract. If my friend starts washing my car, and before she finishes, I say, you know what, I changed my mind. I don't want to pay you $10 to wash my car. That just wouldn't be fair to my friend. Because the only method of acceptance is full performance, at that point we don't have a contract yet. So my friend could not sue me for breach if I refuse to pay after she's already started washing my car. So to make things fair, we have this exception that says once the party has begun performance on a unilateral contract, the offer cannot be revoked until the offeree has a reasonable time to finish performance. So I have to give my friend a reasonable time to finish washing my car before I can revoke my offer. That's the U of 4. That's our third exception. And our fourth exception, the R of 4, stands for reasonably foreseeable substantial reliance. Now I want to tell you on the bar exam, this exception doesn't come up too often, but when it does, it typically comes up in the scenario involving contractors and subcontractors. So let's say, for instance, you have a contractor who's building a building and he needs to put together a bid for this project. Well, in order to put together his own bid, he has to figure out what all the subcontractors are going to charge. So he solicits bids from subcontractors, let's say for the plumbing work. And he solicits 3 bids. And 2 bids come in at $10,000 and 1 bid comes in at $9,000. So the contractor selects the bid for $9,000 and uses that when he puts together his own bid for the whole project. Well, that contractor has reasonably relied on that subcontractor's $9,000 bid. Now, the contractor can't accept the offer yet because he doesn't know if his bid is going to be accepted. However, what this exception says is that the subcontractor cannot revoke that offer, that $9,000 bid, because the contractor has reasonably relied on it. Now, I want to point out that reliance does need to be reasonable. So let's say, for instance, you had 2 bids come in at $10,000 and 1 bid come in at $3,000, and the contractor selected that bid for $3,000. Now, the fact that the $3,000 bid is less than a third of the other 2 bids should alert the contractor that something is wrong with that bid. So it would not be reasonable in that instance for the contractor to rely on that bid. So you do want to make sure that the reliance on the offer is in fact reasonable. So those are our 4 exceptions to the general rule that an offer can be revoked anytime prior to its acceptance. The exceptions are FOUR, firm offer, option contract, beginning performance on a unilateral contract, and reasonably foreseeable substantial reliance. So this is, as I said, just an example of what you could expect from a class at JD Advising. If you have any questions about this class or about the other services JD Advising offers, please feel free to email info@jdadvising.com. Thanks for watching.